Marco Marchi, the founder and CEO of Liuzhou, and the sole administrator of Eccellenze Italiane Holding.
Eccoci qua, Marco.
Here we are. Marco, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Magari due parole su Liuzhou.
Can you please tell us a few words about Liuzhou? You are one of the main fashion groups in Italy, and you're positioned in the, let's call it, accessible luxury segment. How did it all begin, and how did you get here? Well, it's a long story. In Carpi, where Liuzhou is based, there is a textile industry culture and a strong entrepreneurial culture. For some years ago, I used to have my own company, and we used on behalf of third parties. We worked both in Italy and abroad, and then there was a very important moment in my life, the Marrakesh agreement in WTO, where the duties on Chinese trade exchanges were lifted. So the cost of labor was 1/10 than it was in Italy, and there were other factors facilitating me. So as a private label and a manufacturer, there were so many advantages that I decided to take my soul, which is the word of the textile, and extend it. And today, our company has a 250 million turnover and several projects in its portfolio. And we are a lifestyle brand now. 250 million turnover with an EBITDA of 20%, so a very profitable company indeed. And you have a women apparel section. Now you have a menswear section, one of the few companies who have done so. How is that going? Well, we anticipated a possible acquisition, and we're in the final phases of the acquisition of Cocama, which has contributed to the development of the menswear segment. It comes from Campania, an excellency, a region where excellency in this segment has already been achieved. As you said before, being credible in menswear when you have a 25-year history in women's wear is quite difficult. And we are among the few who have done so, but thanks to our talent, and thanks to the talent of our partner, we have a 70 million turnover, which will be acquired in the next 3 months, and this will allow the company itself to achieve even more ambitious goals. We've been talking about the new normal, the stocking. What is your view about the fashion markets in Italy today? Well, let's say that this company is quite complex. And as far as I'm concerned, I can say that I look closely at projections. Forecasts are made sometimes, and then they are proven wrong. And I remember when we were talking some years ago about the polarization of markets, and everybody stated that mass markets would erode the affordable luxury segment, and the luxury segment would remain the same. But here I am today with a 20% growth, and I am the evidence, the proof that the accessible luxury segment is alive and kicking. And the luxury segment is polarizing. Prices are becoming increasingly unaffordable, and there are other consumers who feel a little bit depressed by this trend. Value for money is not dead, and it is very important for some customers. In the premium segment, in the affordable luxury segment, you can attract the customers and make them feel rewarded and gratified. So I think that this is what makes our credibility. You also need communication. Of course, products are very important, but they're not vital. What we have to do is being honest with our customers. We need to offer valuable products, but also a consistent storytelling and honest communication. This is part of the secret of our success. Where do you see Liu Zhou's development in 3 years' time? Retail, markets, sales? Well, this is a very good question. Another very good question. I think that the hybridity of Liu Zhou is one of their strengths. Direct retail is vital for reasons connected to key money and other economic factors. But multi-branding, qualified multi-branding is also very important. Multi-branding can be very stimulating for consumers, and there is a sort of intimate relationship with consumers with multi-branding. You mentioned before that the purchasing experience is very important. Those who do not have any experience in retail cannot gain it in a few days. But our retail points, our shops, our stores do have this kind of experience, both in single and multi-branding. So we think that a good mix is the future. I think that Italian excellency has lessons to teach. For reasons due to politics, finance, and other complexities that we all know very well, and we're dealing with every day as citizens of our countries, some talents that are here need to build relationships and to create networks and platforms, allowing them to express all of their potential. And we have experience in creating these networks and platforms with the Blue Marine experience, with the virtuous experience of the French. We can find a good path to walk on as Italians using our Italian excellency. Wow, you are talking about Eccellenza Italiana Holding, right? So Eccellenza Italiana, when was it created? Well, before the acquisition of Blue Marine in 2019. Eccellenza Italiana is a hub for Italian excellencies, and their first operation was the acquisition of Blue Marine, right? Yes, right. Blue Marine has a different segment than Liu Zhou, right? So it was a new activity for you. What did you find difficult in this new adventure, and what are the inputs that can be used for Liu Zhou as well? Wow, the third interesting question. Well, from the objective point of view, starting to work in a segment which is new and works according to different kinds of patterns was not easy. But Blue Marine is part of my story. I feel close to Blue Marine because This is a company with a 45 years history, which was created in Carpi, the city where I was born. So this was a reference for all of us and a source of inspiration. And being able to acquire Blue Marine was an actual act of love, not only a corporate acquisition. We have two completely different products, and the acquisition was not easy, but contamination among the sectors can be positive. I understood what making luxury products really is, what making other kinds of products really is. I understood the importance of storytelling. I understood that the product is not everything. And I understood, for example, that Gen Z customers are very sensitive to storytelling. And I understood the importance of creating aspirational stories. This was a difficult period. I acquired Blue Marine right before the COVID pandemic, and we're still seeing the consequences of the COVID pandemic. But it was also very interesting because also in the premium segment, the accessible luxury segment, we need contamination because contamination is inspiration. And what are other operations which are expected with Eccellenze Italiane? This is quite a complex moment. I'm really happy that data are encouraging and they give us hope. However, inflation, wars, the increase of different rates, well, this is quite a lot to tackle. Together with climate change, let us not forget that in Europe, but not only in Europe, also in China, we are living a very, very peculiar winter, and this makes production more complex, products more complex, and consumers are becoming more sensitive. We're undergoing change for old companies, which are led by generations who do not have the energy to question what they've been doing for years, and companies which are really keen to gain new market shares like ours. And I think this is going to be a fertile background for evolution. Our company and companies like ours, which is strong and able to tackle new challenges, is interested to create new synergies and new cooperations. So Blue Marine will not be the first and last operation of Eccellenze Italiane. Of course, we hope not. And of course, it must also be clear that every operation must be thought over very carefully, because there are very unsexy scenarios developing in front of our eyes, before our eyes. Thank you, Marco. Thank you very much.